Hello, beauties. Oh my goodness, it's so wonderful to be here with you. Happy holidays. No matter what you celebrate, I hope that you are getting into the holiday spirit and really starting to enjoy the beautiful season. I was a little bit of a bah humbug. I'm like, oh, we're not going to get a tree. We're not going to do all that. We're just going to keep it really simple because I'm the queen of keeping things simple. But then I thought to myself, that's not fun. So we got a tree yesterday. We put the lights on. Oh my goodness, we brought the outdoors, indoors. It's a real tree. It's so gorgeous. And it's completely changed my demeanor. I'm now all in on Christmas. So I hope that you're all in on whatever holiday you're celebrating to embrace the season, embrace the love, and really, first and foremost, to celebrate 2023 and all the good things that happened in 2023. And we're going to let all the things that weren't so good, we're just going to let them go. How about that? We're not going to think about them. We're just going to let them go. Oh, so we want to focus on what we want more of. So focus on those things that are just like the best, right? The best. And one of those things, since this month is all about relationships, one of those things is really connecting more on a regular basis with those you love. So what I have done just today, because pleasure has to be planned, ladies, it has to be planned. And we're going to learn more about that in Robin's Hormone Reset that's coming right up in January. So mark your calendars, January 29th it starts, 28th if you are a VIP. We're going to talk more about that later. But here's the deal. I scheduled a date with a girlfriend who lives about an hour and a half away. We're going to meet in the middle to have a spa day, to go to the spa, to have lunch, to really be with each other, let go of the world for a moment and just connect and be in love. And so I would love to hear, post right here, what you are going to do with a girlfriend once a month. That's it, just once a month. And then you'll have it to look forward to all month long. So you're just so excited that it's going to happen. And you're going to be loved up and nourished with your girlfriend. And it could be like anything. You could go for a hike. You could go for a walk on the beach. You could do some knitting time. You could just have her over for lunch. You could play instruments and sing together. Whatever it is that you two love to do that, but do something that's really nourishing. So post right here. What is that for you? I want to hear, because we're going to get some good ideas. But once a month, I want you to have something on the calendar where you're meeting up with a dear sister friend. Okay, dear sister friend. All right. So I want to answer a couple of questions today and each Wednesday when I come on for Hot Hormone Tip, because I think it's way more fun if I answer them like this rather than just typing out an answer in our group. So today's lucky winners of the questions, I'm just going to choose the last two that came in on our poster health questions here post. The first one is from Susan Reinberg, and I don't mean to embarrass anyone here. So this is private. It just stays in this group. Please, whatever is shared in this group does not go outside this group, right? Hold all of this sacred, right? This group is a sacred, safe space for us to share, some of the crappy things that are going on with our bodies. So keep it safe, keep it sacred, love up on at least 3 other women whenever you pop in here. And let's bring everyone in this group up. We're going to do that right now. This is what we do in all my programs. And that's how we get better, is that we really support each other. So April, let's see, I'm going to go back to Susan. So she's asking a question about her 24-year-old daughter who has bad PMS, cravings, mood swings, but she also really struggles with gut issues. And let me just see, I don't think I can, she doesn't share what the gut issues are, but she does say that she's treated SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. She did that with an integrative doc. And then they also did a food sensitivity test, and she's reactive to everything. So now her diet is very limited. And so her question is, I've recently read that hormonal imbalance can trickle down to gut issues. Not sure if that is true or not. Anyone hear of seed cycling? Is it worth a try? So let me answer your question, just address some of the issues that your daughter is facing. And I love that you're thinking about, how gut issues actually correlate with hormonal issues, because they correlate big time. And if our gut isn't happy, nothing is going to be happy. We're going to see all sorts of horrible symptoms. And that was the way it was for me. I had terrible digestive problems. So, I was constipated and I didn't know it was a thing. I always had, pain in my gut. I had bad PMS. I had terrible moods. Yes, I had terrible cravings. I was just, really irritable, grumpy, all of it. And so really kind of all disease begins in the gut. And, you can definitely start healing a lot when you start focusing on digestion. One of the issues, though, with just focusing on digestion is that, unfortunately, if your adrenals are somewhat dysfunctional, it used to be called adrenal fatigue, but it's really what's called a hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis issue. It's a communication issue, just where the metabolism is kind of messed up. And so thyroid comes into play, your adrenals come into play, your liver function comes into play, and absolutely digestion comes into play. But what happens is that if you don't have good adrenal function, you're not going to have good digestion. It's just the way it is. So the more stress that the body's experiencing, the worse off your digestion is going to be. Because keep in mind that, if you're stressed out, you're not digesting very well. Because when we're stressed, when life is busy, when we're, dealing with what I call the hormone deal breakers, you're going to learn more about that in Robin's Hormone Reset coming up in January. So things like the wrong diet for you, nutrient deficiencies, which, based on my genetics, I'm the nutrient deficient gal, unless I take a lot of extra supplements. What else? Poor relationships, toxins that can just take us out, exogenous toxins, internal toxins, because when we have poor digestive health, guess what? We're producing a lot of internal toxins that are going to continually make us sick. So one of the things that happens with SIBO, so really it's bacteria in your gut where it shouldn't be, right? It kind of creeps up into the small intestine from the colon, and it just causes lots of problems. But, you need to address digestion from the top down. So if there's something going on in the small intestine, it's because there's something going on in the stomach, right? And potentially in the mouth. So you have to start there. And you never, ever do a food intolerance test right out of the gate. So in my private program, we don't do the food intolerance test till you've been in my program for over 6 months. And the reason is because you will become, your test results will show that you're reactive to everything, because that's how it is when your adrenals are not strong, when you haven't done some gut healing. So the bad news about that is that it's very discouraging when you come back reactive to so many things. It leaves, the list of what you can eat to this, and you just get really grumpy about it, and it's impossible to do. So don't do food intolerance testing until you've really done some gut healing and some adrenal healing. Okay? Give me a thumbs up on that. Yes. All right. And then save that for later when you've really done some good work, and then you can tolerate a lot more. So what I would say is seed cycling. I've never done it myself. I know a few gals who have done it. Some like it, and so you could definitely try that. I think what's really important for your daughter right now is to take a look at, I don't know, it's going to be really hard for her to just stick to those 5 or 6 foods that you listed here. But what I would do is I would completely avoid wheat and all gluten. I would avoid all dairy for a bit, because it raises something called insulin growth factor 1, IGF-1. So it acts like insulin, and we become insulin resistant. And then we get all these issues that your daughter is experiencing. And then she really needs to increase her stomach acid. So, if she could do even just a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and a little bit of water before each meal, that's going to help that SIBO a lot. And, let's not take on all of these weird things. I don't like a diagnosis, because then we focus on that. What we focus on expands, and we don't want anything bad expanding. So focus on healthy, strong, hearty digestion for your daughter, and just really work on chewing her food better, building stronger stomach acid with that apple cider vinegar for right now. If you were in my program, I would do something a little bit different, but she can definitely do that. And I think that'll help her so much. And then just avoiding those 2 food groups for right now. It's a game changer for her. And then she'll see her moods a little bit, more balanced, and she won't have so many cravings, and really up her protein intake. Yeah, really up her protein intake, and the cravings are going to go completely away. So just a few shifts, sister, and your daughter is going to be feeling so much better, right? So much better. So, if she's not willing to do those things, then you might let her find her own way, right? Because sometimes we have to hit rock bottom before we're willing to make those more important changes. All right, so I want to send Susan and her daughter lots of love. Mwah! So good. Thank you so much for posting and looking out for your family. So great. All right, April Clark. So good. Okay, so she posts quite a lot here. Congratulations for getting your IUD out. It sounds like it was a big deal, but it's also a big deal to have it in, because it's hormones, right? And it's like taking the birth control pill. And unfortunately, it completely suppresses your own sex hormone production. And that's not a good thing. So it'll just, I don't know, there are very few women who can take birth control like that and feel well. We certainly don't have any in our communities. So it's great that you've taken that out, that you can now let your body's hormones get back to doing their thing. So good. And what I read here in your post is that you've had achy bones, worse insomnia than usual, occasional headaches, occasional hot flashes, moods and attitude is fine. That's so great to hear. And you say that your doctor wants to do surgery because of a little bit of a prolapse. So what I would say is, when we focus on just one thing like that, we're then not addressing the whole person. So if you've got a prolapse going on, you've got other stuff going on. And you've mentioned a few of those things, by the occasional headaches, occasional hot flashes. But if there's a prolapse happening, there's probably other stuff going on. And I bet if you had some really good support, all of that would heal, including the achy bones, because I'm not really sure what's going on there either. So what we want to focus on is plugging the holes, right, of the hormone deal breakers, those things, those root causes that are taking your body out. So again, I share my top 10 in Robin's Hormone Reset. You definitely need to attend that. But to start with, just really start, taking care of yourself a little bit better, replacing missing nutrients. We have the Natural Hormone Solution Program that is a fantastic place to start. If you want more information on that, just post right here. I'd like more information, and I'll post the link for you, because it gives you some really vital nutrients, and that alone can change everything. It's a complete program though, because we don't just sell supplements. You have to, learn how to eat and learn how to do movement and a bunch of other things. But and it's all for hormone balance, right? It's very specifically how to take care of yourself for hormone balance, to feel well, to feel fabulous. So these things are they're not my rules, they're your body's rules. So consider, joining the Natural Hormone Solution Program too, where we can really help you a little bit more. It's a self-paced program. It's not my one-on-one program, but there will be an invitation to my one-on-one program after Robin's Hormone Reset. So if you really want to do testing and dive into your stuff and really be supported for a year, and really heal all of these things, that's the place for you. But for right now, consider the Natural Hormone Solution Program, where we can support you with some really good nutrients and some good kind of step by step to get you started, because unfortunately, things don't get better unless you really do something pretty profound. So, unless you really replace those missing resources, right? The right proteins, fats, and carbs, the right minerals and vitamins, getting your restorative sleep each night, getting your movement in, unless you really start to understand how to do those things for hormone balance, then you just get more and more symptoms. Like the symptoms get worse, they get more serious. You get something called accelerated metabolic aging, and then that just takes you out, right? Those are all the big diseases that we're headed towards if we don't listen to the small things that our bodies are telling us. So I just really want to acknowledge you, April, for posting here and for sharing what's going on with you. You're just a friggin' rock star for doing that. And let's see if we can't really get you supported so that you can just, overcome all of this and live your beautiful life, because you're so gorgeous and we need your bright, shining light out there. When we don't have our health, we have one dream. When we have our health, we have a million dreams. And I want you to have a million dreams. All right, ladies, sending you so much love, and schedule with a girlfriend once a month. And I want you to post right here what that looks like. All right, sending you so much love. Mwah.